In the fog-choked alleys of Victorian London, where gas lamps flicker, drawing shadows that hide unspeakable secrets, the legends are no longer locked in books. Jack the Ripper stalks the night as Dracula lurks in drawing rooms. Dr. Jekyll wrestles his darker half as you hunt your way through the late 1800s. Welcome to Flintlock and Fog, the Victorian-era tabletop RPG where historical facts and gothic tales collide. Traverse a world of machine and mystery, and of bone and barrel. Blend historical grit with supernatural peril. Solve intricate puzzles in an antiquated world. Face tactical combat with firearms, curses, and sheer cunning. Every decision rewrites history as you stake your claim in these gothic tales. Every choice, every risk, every roll could change the tale forever. In Flintlock and Fog, new adventures for old stories. Coming soon on Kickstarter. Join the story. Become the legend.
Hello, everyone this evening. I'm your host, David Lilly, and this is Flintlock and Fog. And that video is a little antiquated because it is not coming soon to Kickstarter. It's currently on Kickstarter. And if you want to go back Flintlock and Fog, you can head on over to the website, flintlockandfog.com. And the first thing right up there will be the Kickstarter. You can click that, take you right to the Kickstarter. Go ahead and back that. Matter of fact, I'm going to be bringing that up here in a little bit. So tonight we are going to be making minis. TikTok is already blowing up. I got TikTok chat. Oh, I got the chat open on this too. I'm going to try to work both of these. Yeah, we're making minis using Eldritch Foundry. And I have a very old laptop and it does me pretty good, except for when I'm trying to run some programs that require quite a bit of power. My streaming program and the Eldritch Foundry custom mini builder on their website tends to really heat my computer up. So I've got a whole fan system going with a bowl of ice. I don't even want to get into it, but there's a whole thing to try to keep my computer cool. So hopefully it doesn't crash out on you guys. But if I'm just saying this up front, if it crashes out and I all of a sudden disappear, it's not because I got mad at you or I might got mad at my computer, but it's just because this is it just got too hot and crashed out. So I'll have to let it cool off. But just we'll see how far we can get having fun. So if you're just catching this and I'm already gone, you're like, what happened? Just go right back to the beginning of the video. But I've got a lot of faith in this. I think we're going to have a really good time. I think it's going to be great. All right, so let's get started. I am going to show you. So I've already been building minis. Get more ice. We got CJC coming in. Yeah, I legit have a bowl of ice right by this fan thing coming up under my laptop, blowing cold air on it. I'm doing everything I can to keep this thing running. And that's why you need to go give to the Kickstarter, because your boy needs a new computer. If I'm gonna be over here building minis and live streaming simultaneously. So I've actually already built some minis and I put them up on the website. I'm going to show you guys real quick. So if you go to flintlockandfog.com, this is what it looks like. Let me make it full screen. This is what it looks like. And this is, desktop, obviously. But if you come over here right underneath the Flintlock and Fog, there's a drop down that says store. You can go right here to where it says minis, click the mini, and it'll take you right to this page. Obviously, the lettering is a lot darker. Probably should do some editing with that. But build your own mini using Eldritch Foundry, and it goes into it. And so these are some of my builds so far. And these I gave a little title, so like what I called these, a little bit about that particular character, that mini, just some basic, like this is what I was imagining while I was building it. This is the Irishman. This first one, this is about a battle-scarred Irishman whose weathered face and thick dock worker build tell the story of a life forged in hardship, prejudice, and the bloody trenches of the front lines. With the study in military and encyclopedic knowledge of every weapon imaginable, he always gravitates towards the biggest, loudest, most destructive firearms he can get his hands on. Hence, I gave him a rock and rifle. I'll talk about the rifles here in a minute. This rifle on Eldritch is actually titled a rifle that's actually in Flintlock and Fog, the game. You can use it. Anyway, if you go and you click on him, I'm not gonna because I already have Eldritch Foundry pull up. But if you click on the picture of any one of these three, it'll take you straight to Eldritch Foundry. And that preset will already be loaded for you. So you can see it, you can change anything about it, or you can just take it and download it once you sign up and all that good jazz. So this will take you straight to Eldritch Foundry into the custom mini builder, and you can play around with this design that I made. It's yours, so you get the full template of that particular design. So that is so that's how that works. Awesome. We have Legends of the Tabletop coming in the chat. Let's go. Hello, Legends. We are still streaming. The computer hasn't shut down yet, so I'm thinking it's going to be a good night. I'm just slightly stressed about that. We got Legends coming in back in, says, let's go all your live stream guests some characters built. For real, they really do need to get some characters built. I think what we're going to focus on, I'm going to try something I haven't done tonight with Eldritch. Well, let's get over there real quick. So if you go to let me share this instead. If you go to eldritchfoundry.com and sign up, this is what, and do the create a character, this is what it'll look like. If this thing starts to lag real bad, y'all just shout off in the chat. One of the things I can't do, can I take this? No, I can't. I can't take my chat. I can't take my chat and show it while I'm building a mini. So that's the only downside I'm gonna have with this is while I'm building the minis, I won't be able to see the chat. So I'll just have to jump back and forth. I'll have to jump back and forth. If we do this, I'm real tiny. I think that's how I would like it. What about this? What does this look like? Oh, that's not right. What if we did this? No, I'm not a fan of that either. What about this? Well, I kind of want you to be able to see the drop downs. Let's go back to this. You guys don't really need to see my face anyway. All right, so eldritchfoundry.com. Click the build the minis. We're gonna get started with this because I want to see how well this is gonna do. So this is your basic page. This is the first one that they give you that pops up. I've played around with this for a hot minute, and I still haven't quite got it down yet. Just throwing that out there. I still haven't figured out all of the things. There's so much stuff you can do with this. It's kind of mind blowing. But up at the top left, it says Quick Start. That's where all of these little things right here come in. And you can click those and then just let's go. We did the Quick Start, went to General. This is what a gunslinger robot. So we're just going to click that. And it's going to generate a gunslinger robot. I probably shouldn't play around with this too much because it probably would lag me a ton. But that's the gunslinger robot. It's pretty rad. It's got like a cool mutton chop stash. The cool thing about the gunslinger is some of the clothing we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and start start off fresh. So we're going to skip down to body. And it's just said over here is basically where you start off with what kind of character you want to build. We're just going to stick with simple human. Because that's the majority of it in the game. Now we're going to play around with something after that, but let's just do a quick one real quick. Human. We're going to do a human guy. We're going to see if we can just make somebody that looks like me. And it gives you some kind of options to some basic faces. This one kind of looks gaunt and sickly. So we're going to pick that one. Yeah, you guys are going to have to bear with me because everything is super slow. I'm gonna hop over. How's it for y'all? Is it lagging real bad? Holler off in the chat. And if you're like, well, the screen's not doing nothing, it's because I'm on the stream. So if I freeze down here at the bottom corner, then we might have an issue. I'm going to go and close out this window. All right, what are we doing? Here we go. Let's pick this guy. Oh, still the gunslinger is up. I mean, that's fine. We're just going to change the close and stance. Let's go straight to the stance pose. Let's do a basic walking stance for now. That way it gives us a good idea. Oh, he's holding the gun up. That's okay. We'll turn it this way. Just walking and shooting Punisher style. All right, let's go to the head. Let's go and change some stuff. Obviously, hair. Well, we can't really see the hair. Let's get rid of the hat. So if we go down to clothing, this is where most of the stuff that I've been messing around with. They give you automatic outfits, which is a great place to start if you don't want to start from scratch, but we're going to start from scratch. I think there's a reset where you can go straight to nothing, but we're pretty much just altering something that's already there. Since it's Victorian, there's a lot of cool stuff in here, like helmets, obviously. A lot of cool D&D style things, some futuristic style stuff. We're pretty much going to play around in just the hats category right up here at the top corner. And right now, I want to play with the hair. So we're going to get rid of the hat. So I'm going to scroll down to see he's got the cowboy hat on. We're going to take that off. And we're going to zoom in a little bit so we can kind of get a better look. To be honest, that hairstyle is not bad. So let's go back to head. Let's go back to hair. Let's see what they got for hair. We could do balding. We could do a man bun, old school David, straight up old school David right here. We could do the man bun. I like the man bun. Stick with the man bun. Let's go back. All right, let's do facial hair. Let's go with the man bun. Beard. That's going to be important. Now, this artificers and the full beard long is my normal jam. But I've trimmed my beard a lot, so it's not near as long as it used to be. So we're going to go with just a moderate full beard short. This guy right here. I do like, so that's pretty close. I do like that they have a one called the Van Dyke. That's a pretty cool beard option. Let's click that one. That one's pretty cool. Very Wild West style. I don't know why it would call the Van Dyke. I assume Dick Van Dyke. Kayla says, good here on TikTok. Thank you. Maybe there's a Dick Van Dyke, or maybe there's a different Van Dyke, but we're going to go full beard. All right. I think that's good for the hair now. Now let's go facial controls. We can play around with that a little bit. Let's go with expressions. We can make him angry or happier. I mean, he's walking and shooting. Let's go a little happy, which I think just changes the cheekbones and the eyes. If we zoom in, let's zoom in a little bit more. Oh yeah, he's looking pretty happy. Pretty happy. Now, if I move angry, will that go the opposite? Can you be happy, angry? You can be happy, angry. So you can be angry and be happy about it. You can be happy and angry. We're going to stick with that one. I like the eyebrows. They're a bit thick. Got a little bit of Eugene Levy going on. You can brow puff. Is that going to raise it? Let's raise one. Oh, that's puffing it up. Wow. That's like if you're going to do Buffy the Vampire Slayer vampire style, where their brows swell up. So now, just giving you a heads up, like I'm moving this meter, and it normally does a lot better. Like it's a little smoother, but because I'm live streaming this at the same time, everything's kind of jumpy, and I'm being very careful not to overload it because I don't want to do too many things in the computer try to keep up, and then it just crash on me. So we are gonna raise the right eyebrow. So he's doing a Sean Connery. We got the Sean Connery thing. There we go. That one's cool. That's a shooting eye anyway. The ears look pretty good. These are all, I mean, this is basically how you build your character in like a Skyrim, Baldur's Gate kind of thing. but I actually like the face. I think we're going to keep that. Let's kick it back over to clothing. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, Kayla says it's crazy how detailed they get with this over on TikTok. It is wild. There's some things on here that are just they got hippopotamus people, and then the things that you can add, you can put them on thrones, you can put them riding stuff. It's wild, and it's a ton of fun. Like you can get lost in this very very easily. Just spend hours creating, and it's all free. Like all you do is sign in, and you can create all the characters you want, and you can save them. Over here, if I go to this little side section, I have 3 characters saved. That's the ones you saw on the website. And so as I make a character, I like it. I'll just put in their name. Like I haven't done the name. We're gonna do David for this one. That's the name of this one, and we'll just save that there. And then when I go to save this, it'll put them right there. And then if I want to download the STL to print on my own, or if I want to order one, then that's where you just buy the membership, or you buy outright, you pay for one. All right, let's go back to hats. Let's play with hats. It's kind of hard to do this without wanting to add hats because I'm a big fan of hats. So if we go to hats, they have some pretty good options, Eldritch does, for Victorian era. I played around with this and I talked to them, and moving forward in the future, if I can work with them a little closer, they're going to add stuff for Flintlock and Fog specifically, because there's a few things in here that I like. So this top hat, they have a top hat with clover. This I definitely want to use for a character I have in one of the games because it's pertinent. But what I couldn't find, oddly enough, is just a top hat without the clover. Now they have one labeled top hat. We'll do that one real quick, but it's steampunky with the goggles. And so what I couldn't find is just the top hat without the clover or without the goggles. So that was something I talked to Eldridge about, and they were like, yeah, we can totally do something like that for you. So this is a good common go-to one with Victorian style. Of course, the classic bowler hat. I like to throw this on any gangster, the gangster style characters that you would be playing with. Let me just pop back over. Sorry guys, I'm popping back over in the chat. SGC says man bun it up. We did. Now we're just gonna throw hats to cover up the friggin' man bun. Legend says man bun it. Do the Princess Leia. They might have that hairstyle. We'll get into that. They probably have to have that hairstyle. It's a giant nerd. Oh, I love this. Is there a cheat code to save money? I think there is. I think it's cheese bags. But don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that one. Wide brim floppy hat. I think LOTT used that for when it was fantastic. So I did like the floppy hat, and it works really good too. The bowler hat. I did like the flop. Let's hop back over there. Sorry guys, I gotta jump back and forth to check the chat. So if I'm a little late to get into your comments, that's fine. The wide brim floppy hat. Let's see if we can find that, because I think I just passed that up. Yeah. This guy works pretty good for Victorian era. Now on my character, it looks a little funky, but not really. It's kind of bohemian. So if we went with kind of a gypsy style feel to it, where he's a fortune teller in a caravan, that would work really, really well. Now, of course, the classic cowboy hat. This one fits the whole entire attire, but we're not really in the Wild West on Flintlock and Fog right now, so it's nice to keep that in your back pocket. But here's the thing: if you're playing Flintlock and you're playing an American who just so happens to be in London, this is a great thing for your character. Do him up like a cowboy. I got a buddy of mine. Every time he plays Flintlock, he plays as an American cowboy, and this is what I imagine as he's playing. He does the accent and everything. It's pretty good. Even when in London, he's the American cowboy. Here's another great classic hat that I used on one of the characters when I was building them. This little flat cap, this little newsy kind of feel to it. This is fantastic for the Victorian era. That one works well. Now, some of the others you can get away with. The sea captain hat, the pirate's hat, Um, this is gonna date your character a little bit. People are gonna think that you time traveled. Um, so I don't know if that one's gonna work, but hey, it's a game. Do whatever you want. So if your character wants to wear a tricorn, do it up. Where's another the bandana works well for the Victorian era, especially if you're, like, playing a dock worker or you're playing something like that, the bandana works really good. Now, here's another one I found that I really like. So if your character study in Flintlock is military, this might be your go-to hat. This hat is awesome for a military style character. So just a second ago, our guy looked like a cowboy because he had the cowboy hat, but even you took the cowboy hat, minus the man bun, definitely looked like a cowboy. Instantly with this hat, he looks like a military officer, in the English army. Totally works. I think you can adjust the hat. Looks a little big on my guy. I think you can adjust sizes of some of this stuff, but I haven't really got into that yet. Of course, the classic Santa hat. This is a great one for Victorian era, especially if you're playing a Christmas one shot that may or may not be being written right now to come out around Christmas time. Hint, hint. Um, got a Christmas one coming out. That's pretty cool. Now, this World War One hat, again, this is a little futuristic for Flintlock, but I could see you easily pulling this off. Um, inside Flintlock, you might just need a cool story to go with it. Now, this flat cap is similar to the other one, but it's a little bit more concise. It's not as fluffy, but it's also called a flat hat. And of course, the Tripoli. This one works if you're going in with the Indiana Jones. In the Victorian time period works well too. Definitely going to make your character look like an adventurer. So as far as hats go, there's a ton of things you can do, but those are the ones I noticed work the best. Now, I'm going to do this real quick. We're probably going to pop back into it. One of the other cool things that I played around with, um, Kayla says goes with the Newsies. So we're going to go with the Newsie. Let's go with the first flat cap. This one. I like this one a lot. The man bun's not really there. It just looks like it sort of poking out the back. We're going to go with the Newsies. And we'll do this in a second with a different character. I was wondering about the spiritualist character. They have a bunch of cool stuff, but the first thing I went to was hoods. Now they have a ton of cool hoods. Like if I was going to play a D&D campaign, there is no way I would not play with the wolf's head helm like that. I would have to. That would have to be a thing. But if you're playing a spiritualist character, throwing a deep hood on uh totally works. Now it feels a bit Assassin's Creedish, but if you set it up right without just having a full-on robe, unless you're playing like a friar. But if you're just doing like a cool Assassin's Creed, you got the whole three-piece suit vest thing going on with the suspenders, throwing a hood on there. Again, this hood's a little bit big. You can even do it where it is a ripped hood. Just makes your character look super cool. Now, this stance might not do it justice because he's leaning forward. So if we change the stance, it might change it up. Easily the cowl. There's another great one. This works in the Victorian era as well. Again, it's all about what you pair it with. This is not Victorian, but who flippin' cares? You got the hood and you got the mask, the plague mask thing going on. So, man, that is just simply awesome. And so I don't care who you are. You tell me you don't want to bust in a vampire lair in the sewers of London wearing that, just slaughtering vampire minions all around the place. Absolutely already thinking about writing that one because that sounds a ton of fun. All right, let's go back to hats. So there's a ton of cool things you can do. The executioner's hood works good, but mostly the hoods, the turbans work really good. We are going to be writing some quests that are in Egypt, so this will come in real handy. But even if your character's Indian or Pakistani in London, there were a lot of them at that time period. London was pretty diverse, to be honest with you. I did a bunch of research on what kind of population was in London, and there's pretty much everybody. So if you're playing an Indian character, throwing that on would be super cool. Pakistani character and Arab, those would be super cool. Or just playing a white guy. You want to be a white guy with a turban? Do it up. That's what we got. Although to be honest, the beard works really well. I could just leave the turban because I kind of like that. Let's go back flat cap. Let's check out chat. We've got Jay coming in. Floppy hipster man bun with Victorian era. That's true. That's true. You know what? The Victorian era was the first time I would think the man bun started to become cool. Rose City to the streets of London. That's right. We're actually going to do that in reverse. We're gonna eventually get back to Rose City, but that'll probably be 2028, 2027, maybe 2027. We got a lot of stuff to do in London first. All right, flat cap. Let's go back to flat cap. All right, now we've played around with hats, but hats are kind of a big integral part. Now the neck moving down, he's already got one of these little handkerchief things going on. I threw this decayed scowl, shawl, scowl, jeez, decayed shawl on the lady assassin character I made. Looks phenomenal. Any of the shawls work really good, especially if you're doing kind of a long coat or something. It's London, man. You're gonna want to button up. You're going to want some layers. So any of the scarves work really good. This handkerchief works no matter if you're a Western. It works real good with the three pieces. So Victorian, anything works really good with that. Now here's one of my favorites. Of course, it's going to stick you looking like you're in the Wild West a little bit. But the gunslinger scarf, it's kind of like similar to a poncho. I don't think they have poncho here. Again, I haven't played around with this side a ton. Yeah, I don't see one, but these are all really cool options. We're going to stick with, oh my gosh, the noose. Now, if you just want to come off with your character looking like he's ready to hurt somebody seriously bad, just run around with a noose around your neck. So hardcore. Let's go back to the handkerchief. Let's keep that. Now, shoulders. Moving on to this. Unless you're doing something like these guys, you just want to toss that on the shoulder real quick just to fancy your character up. I'm not going to say don't do it. Everything else will fit perfectly fine. It'll bulk your shoulders up on your character. Now, some of the stuff might not quite fit, but I'm not going to tell you not to put wolves on your shoulders because seriously, come on. Come on. But even with the Victorian outfit, doing something like this kind of just makes your character look like they're going to the Met Gala in 1887. That's it. They're fashioning it up. They just got a little fashion to them. Check out this one, this owl shoulder guard. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we're really not going to end up using shoulders on this character. They work if you really want to make your character somewhat distinct, but it's really not necessary for the Victorian era. Now, torso, this is one of the more complicated ones. I'm not going to lie. This one's a little bit more complicated. Now, any of these kind of work. So if we even throw this pitted cuirass on, he's sleeveless. We'd have to put a shirt on because that doesn't quite work with the gun in the outfit. That doesn't really work well at all. This one you could probably get away with on your character. But again, because the things that stand out are the hats and the boots. This middle torso doesn't really play much of a part. But to be honest, I've stuck real close to either short sleeves. They have a great set of shirts that work phenomenally. Like even this little jacket right here, it says Kai's jacket. It's a little future, but that totally works. You could totally use that in the Victorian era. But they actually have some that are almost like perfect. So even the blouses work really good. Any of these blouses work really good for the Victorian. I wanted to get to one that I thought was great. This guy. This guy is what you just had on. It's called the Bouncer's work shirt. Yeah, so this is what I just had on. It comes with the vest, the shirt underneath, and the suspenders. Phenomenal combo when doing any kind of Victorian character. Now, if you're like, I like it, but I don't want the suspender, or just want the suspenders, because you're just, it's a night out on the town, you got a few particular bars you want to hit up. That's not what I meant. As far as the shirts go, I thought you could take the suspenders off and just do the shirt. I think you can. Maybe it's in long sleeves. Do it without the suspenders. This one's pretty close. That one's not the same exact one though. Huh. I could have swore I found it. It might be in another section. Or I probably need to scroll up. This one's super cool. Again, works great for the Victorian era. It's called the armor leather chest. To be honest, everything in their torso works pretty well. This one's a little bit more flamboyant as far as textures go. Looks a little futuristic, so I probably wouldn't use that one. Man, that one was perfect. All right, so the World War II shirt, again, time period wise, works great too. It's pretty basic though. Street Wizard's coat, another great classic. You kind of look like you're a Civil War, person. It's got the double-breasted button thing. And I cannot find the thing I was looking for. Underdark Wizard coat. Underdark Wizard. I guess it's not a coat. Let's try this one out. Where are we at? Won't do it. Here we go. This guy is great. So it's got the coat. It's got little frills on the sides. Kind of gives you some feel like you got some armband with some ammo and stuff like that. All right, I'm not finding the one. All right, so let's just jump to the thing that I was really. Let me point out one more. The poet shirt. Perfect for the Victorian era. I love this. Now, you can go to long coats, but right here, the poet shirt shows you some of the combos it's already in. Watch what happens when I drop this combo. Total and completely badass. That's a Mac set up right there. Look at this. That's just cool. Now, it's a little bit piratey because it's a little flashy, but it's Victorian, so it works totally fine. Now, this is another one, but different shirt. So this has the 3-piece button with it instead of the fluffy shirt that the other one had. I love this, and you can actually go and explore a lot. This is the commandeer coat. If you go to long coats, they have so many cool options. I mean, they're just combos of pretty much everything else, but this guy is classic. It's called the townsman coat. Even sounds Victorian. This guy was one I'm going to use because this is just straight up classic style. Now, again, it's got the little zip button shirt in the center. I like that. We removed the suspenders. This is what it looks like with just the shirt. It's pretty classic, but I mean, come on, look at that coat. This is the coat we are going to go with. So we're going to stick with that for now. Now let's move to hands. I don't think I'm going to add. They got bracers, gloves. One of the things they do have, they have ladies' gloves. Those work good. They have there it is, fingerless gloves. This is classic Victorian right there. Look at that. Look at that. Nothing says Victorian like a pair of fingerless gloves. If you ever pay attention, this is tennis duster. Yeah, it is a tennis duster. If you pay attention to some of the videos I put promos out on Instagram, TikTok, and stuff, where I'm showing items on my desk, a lot of the times I'll be sporting the fingerless gloves. Your boy David loves fingerless gloves. That's not just for the video. That's everyday usage. All the way into April and maybe into May because where I live, it's still cold. These fingerless gloves are great. Now, these have the cuffs on them. You can do it without the cuff, but the jacket has a cuff on it. All right, there we go. There's a better look. So right here without the cuff, fingerless glove. Oh, zoomed in too much. And then you can do just the cuff. So basically what they're showing you here is if you find a combo like the fingerless gloves, right off to this side, now I'm just adjusting the left, you can make both gloves different on either hand, which is wild details. So they're not just going to always change one or the other. You can actually unlink this guy right here. So you can just put one glove on while not having a glove on the other hand, or watch this, wrap on the left hand, this hand wrap, glove on the right, fingerless glove on the right. You can just set up any combo if you want to make your character so unique. Say you in the middle of the quest, you pick up a glove and you're like, you know what, next round, next campaign, I'm gonna go open my saved mini figurine, my David. I'm gonna open him up and I'm just gonna give him a glove on his right hand because that's an item I picked up recently and I only got one. So I'm gonna give him a glove. And then you can just alter your character as you're going through your campaign. Of course, you got to 3D print them again, but who doesn't love printing out a new mini? Or you can get a colored one from Eldritch Foundry, which that is really cool. I haven't tested that out yet, but that's super cool. Let's pop back over and check out the chat. Shoulder stuff for big time BBGs. That is that's a great comment. That's perfect for when you're making minis. Again, I think I'm going to try to get over to that and start making a BBG here in a minute, because I feel like I'm spending too much time on David here. So we're going to zip through these. All right, so going down to pants, breeches is pretty much a go-to for me on the other ones. Again, this is a bit piratey, but man, does it work. Let's see if we can zoom out so you can get a better shot of it. Now, my boots are a bit piratey as well. Come on now. What am I doing here? Trying to get a better shot of the boots and the pants. Oh, let's do it this way. I mean, you got it. You can kind of see. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay. Let's get up in there. Let's get right up close to the crotch. All right, yeah, so these pants work really good. There's another pair. Now, these leather pants, I think they don't look leather to me, but they look like some pair of khakis. So they work well. To be honest, the boots, let's hop over to footwear real quick. So I want to change this up because they actually have some really great footwear. Now, boots are my normal go-to because they're easy. I'm going to show you the boot that I thought was great. This guy, the Sorcerer shoes, great Victorian. Look at that. It's got the little cuff over the top. It doesn't have a flare like high, so it doesn't look piratey. It blends really well with the pants, so I think this was a great boot. If you're looking for something classic, kind of has that cowboy boot look to it as well. This is a Townsman, which goes, I'm assuming, as a pair with the Townsman coat. This one works too, but again, it's got the big leg cuff. So I was trying to avoid the leg cuffs. Officer boots are another fantastic route. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Looks a little bit more like a mud boot, like you're about to go crawdad fishing, but it works too. Really, that first one is great. Let me see. I think there was another one. Monk boots. These, no, not those. I was gonna say those work good. I think I was right just on the very first at the top. Where was it again? The Sorceress boots. These guys work really good. We're actually not going to use these though because there's a better pair of shoes. If you click right over to the shoes, there is a really stellar pair of shoes. Now these buckle dress shoes are pretty good as well. They have this collar on them, pretty much like the Sorcerer's shoes. Boxing shoes can work. It blends pretty well. Where are there's a pair of loafers. Riding shoes are good. I do like these. But they're very, very specific. Where is the shoe? Is it the World War I shoes? These worked really good. No, but it wasn't those. The Oxfords. These bad boys are great. Look at that, like penny loafers. No, man, that wasn't the one. I don't think it was World War II shoes. There was a pair of shoes I put on the other guys. Maybe it was the buckle dress shoes. I think it was the buckle dress shoes. I think this was my go-to. Because this to me fits Victorian. Like again, I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at the shoes, but that fits Victorian pretty good. Let's go back to pants real quick. And there is a pair of pants. Of course, the torn pants work good because it's Victorian, but that's not the route. Boom. Simple trousers work great. Now, it's a bit turn of the century already into the 1900s, kind of moving in the 1920s feel. But if you're not really wanting to, you want to just kind of make your whole outfit blend, whatever you're doing, the trousers are great for that. There is another pair of riding pants, these bad boys. Except for I think they have the like the chap thing on them. No, I'm just pantless. Yeah. Can you do it without that? I don't think so. Riot pants, not those. Jeans. Maybe these were better than the others. These work too. I don't like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the crease down the side. Man, I've played around with this so much. I should have paid attention to what pieces I put on. But I just basically went through these and just clicked each one to see what they all look like. But I think the basic trousers was my easy go-to because it just made everything kind of blend real well. Britches. Let's go with the britches. I think these are the best bet. I know they got the little sachet thing right here, but man, they're just cool. It's got the buckles going across. It's all right. So it's a big gunslinger, not gonna lie, but that's the one. That's the one I like. That's the one I want to go with. Legends is back in. Said love having multiple minis for a campaign, the different stages of the evolution of the character. I'm telling you, it's a great idea. Plus, I mean, it's just what you can't go wrong with having more minis. What's wrong with having a ton of minis? What's wrong with it? Nothing, except for if you're never gonna get around to painting them, which I don't paint anything. But it's also Victorian era, and all Victorian movies have a tendency to be black and white. So having gray figurines is perfectly fine. It's like being in a war film. Okay, so we are good with that. All that's left, we did that. I can go to cape. I'll show you cape a little bit, but we're not really going to play with capes for this character. They do easily fit. The Roman scarf does as well. You can throw that on your character, just kind of give it a cool little cowl feel. If you are doing like Phantom of the Opera, this would be the route I would go. But see, look at that. It works great for a character. And it's kind of just like an extra long coat. Adds to a coat. Oh, there's the poncho. I swear, I knew they had a poncho. I just didn't know where it was. Desert poncho. Awesome. Just killer right there. But we're not going to do a cape because it doesn't quite fit. The last thing, now eyewear. I don't have glasses, but if you did want to go steampunk, they got all of literally called steam goggles. So if you're all about the steampunk, let's change the camera angle. These are your jam. I'm not a goggle guy, but if I was, that would be it. What else do they have in here? The bookkeepers, I think these would work. No, those don't work very Victorian. Circular glasses, obviously Victorian. My go-to if you're playing a martial arts character and you just want to be just the guy no one wants to fight in a bar, straight up blind. You got the blind thing going. You got the Kanan from Rebels going, using the Force, destroying your enemies. Now, of course, an eye patch. Oh, no, monocle. Nothing gets more Victorian than the monocle. So that's a great route to go. And of course, they have the classic black eye. The black eye, real quick. It just looks super goofy. They have the daggum black eye. Anyway, we are not going to go with the black eye or the blind. We're going to leave it as is. I wasn't even going to do glasses or goggles. There's one other, if you want to get really good with them. These are called large sunglasses. They're just aviators. You got the Joe Biden thing going on. I think that's cool. You could do that. Throw some aviators on. Again, a little past the turn of the century. It's not really Victorian, but we've already broke so many rules. Just keep breaking them. All right, now back to some side items. Handhelds. So this is where you're gonna get into the weapons right now. See if I can zoom out. Right now, we got the revolver. Wow, I'm super zoomed in. We got the revolver here. So we're gonna shoot on over. Of course, they have axes. The fireman's, I think it's called the fireman's axe. Works good. Hand axe can be very Victorian as well, because obviously it's pretty common. It's more of a tomahawk. Wood axe, this one. So I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if Eldritch is listening to me, and I don't know what the rules are, so I apologize if this sounds. But one critique I will have with this is and it's probably not them, it's me. I don't know how to change the size of the weapons because they're weapons, and it might be a printing thing. But like, no, we can't print smaller weapons. The stuff will break off because they're too far away from the thing. so the weapons have to be a certain size. But the size of this wood axe is massive. The whole blade's bigger than my head, and I wanted to make it a little bit more realistic by making it smaller, and I can't figure it out. So maybe they could reach out to me or somebody in the chat can be like, "Oh, click this button." But that axe is massive for a wood cutting axe. And I'm just gonna say it, all of their weapons are like that. So take a look. Let's go over to here. Obviously, there are crossbows in the game. There are bows in the game, but to be truthful, it's mostly pistols and rifles. Now, I want to start off with the rifles because I thought this was super cool. So while doing, let me take a sip of coffee because my throat's dry. Now, while doing creating the game, I want to use historically accurate weaponry. So pistols, weapons, all the pistols are actual guns that were around at that time that were used at that time. Most of them, rifles, the same thing. And I had a laundry list of rifles I could use. So I tried to pick the ones that are a little bit more known, a few of them that weren't as famous, and kind of made those special. But really tried to stay in the essence of like these were very common around that time period, something you would see at that time period. One of those rifles is the infield rifle. And I specifically remember that being like, I would definitely want that one. It was very common. I also think it was manufactured up where I live. And it was just a name. I was like, definitely adding the infield. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, I was playing around with Eldritch, and this is no teaming up with them or anything. You scrolled right down here and you click this guy right here is the infield rifle. This is straight out Victorian rifle. Again, the size isn't historically accurate. That gun is the size of my mini. If you two-hand it, it looks cool, but man, is that a massive friggin' gun. I would personally like to make it slightly smaller just to make it fit a little bit more. But again, I don't know what the 3D print rules are. But it's literally called an infield rifle in the game. In Eldritch, and the infield rifle is a real rifle, and I use it heavily in the game. So that's super cool. So this would be one I would use a lot. Of course, we have the boomstick, which I think is a straight reference to Evil Dead. It's obviously a shotgun. Shotguns were very common in that time too. So this one hint is a double barrel. It's smaller than the infield, so it looks more compact. And man, does it make your character look awesome, like just ready to rock and roll. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you pistols, but I'm telling you right now. Oh, and they have, don't get me wrong, they have a shotgun, but the shotgun looks a little bit Terminator-ish. So it doesn't really fit the time period. That's why I stick with the boomstick. Now they have a ton of other, you can give them a scar. They got so many AK-95. They've got laser weapons, wasteland knife. That's just wild. But really the boomstick. Oh guys, I haven't even shown you the coolest part. You ready for this one? Because they have two of them. This side over here, you can just click that. Double boomsticks. Look at that. Oh my god, how awesome is that? How awesome. Imagine you're walking down an alleyway in London like this. Like, bro, have a werewolf pop out. I'm about to load him up with some 12 gauge silver to the face. To the face. It's a little obnoxious, not gonna lie. We're gonna go back down to one. We're in double-handed. I'm gonna show you pistols real quick because these are cool as well. Of course, the classic flintlock. You got the flintlock pistol coming in. It looks a bit laser-ishy, but it works fine. It isn't my normal go-to for a I think they have another one that looks very similar. Of course, the classic revolver, which is what we just had. That's going to be there's most of the guns in the game are revolvers. So that is very much would be a common one I would go to. I'd put that in my back pocket and use it a lot. Where are we going? Up. The Mauser, you can get away with this because there was a gun in the game that's similar to the Mauser. Of course, this is a little bit more newer. The SPA pistol, this one is like a snub nose 38 special. I love this gun. If I was going to give my character a revolver, I know it's got a little bit more flashiness to it. It looks a little bit more futuristic, but it's a little bit, again, more compact. I love it. It looks like a snub nose 38. And in the game, this would probably mimic in the game the there's a pocket pistol called the Webley Bulldog, and it packs a friggin' punch. And again, it's a real gun. And I would definitely try to get my hands on it and use that. Now, this looks like your basic. It says basic pistol. Looks like a 1911. Your basic Glock. It's not going to work for flintlock. But if you show up at my table and your mini has this or two of them, I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be like, all right, let's roll with it. So that's as far as that goes. Now they do have some heavy ones. Rocket launchers. Not going to get quite into that. That doesn't really fit the time period, but you can't tell me that don't look super cool. So there's that. That looks super cool. We're gonna go back and we're gonna do the boomstick, and we're gonna double hand the boomstick because that's some serious classic stuff right there. I left the cape on. We're gonna leave the cape on this one. All right, now let's go side items. They have backpacks, cool stuff, containers. One of the things that I thought was cool, miscellaneous maybe. There's a ton of stuff that you can use for your character in Flintlock and Fog. Specifically things that would help give your character a distinct feel inside their study. Now this is all swords. Oh, these are backpack. I'm in backpack items. I guess these are things you would put on your back, which is, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty sick. Bro, sheath katanas. Let's just get a feel of that. Again, a little massive, a little big, but come on. Who doesn't want 2 katanas on their back? Quarterstaff, that would work pretty well with the game. Spear. Staff. I guess these are all in the backpack. God dog, that staff is massive. These are all backpack stuff. And containers. Here it is. Straight up put a backpack on your character. Works great. But you really don't. I haven't done it in any of mine because it's just not unless you're making an adventure character, it doesn't really work. Side items. This is what I was going for. Contains miscellaneous side items. Or is it handheld? Miscellaneous. Yeah, here we go. Coin sack. These are handheld, but I think you can. Let's go back side items. Maybe they're in there too. Skull, a rag, perfect. You can't really see because it's under my coat. That's a good one to add just to give your character a little bit more flavor. Banded books. That one's really cool. Toss that right on the side. Look at this. Let's get this friggin' cape. We're getting rid of the cape, guys. I apologize. Clothing. Let's get rid of this friggin' cape. Although, oh god, if your character's like a Russian immigrant just rocking up London streets, that might be. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. You're a hunter. You look like Craven the Hunter. That's what that looks like. Is that the Toll Man? Yeah, Tank Toll Man guy. That's one of his items. He's an influencer. That's friggin' sick. You look like you're a crow. Looks like you should be on the wall watching out for the White Walkers. That's friggin' cool. All right, let's go back. I'm getting friggin' sidetracked. Back to where we were. Side items. Now you can get a good look at this. Side items. Look at that. Perfect for your character. Now it's on the outside, of course, of his jacket, so it doesn't really make sense, but it's still cool looking. Of course, coin sack works great for Victorian. Again, if you didn't have the long coat, it would work great. I think there was something else I made a note of. Bada bing. Dynamite sticks. Looks like it's in your pocket. Looks like you're walking around with the dynamite in your pocket, which is very plausible while playing the game. And then, of course, the classic Victorian compass. Now you look ready to scope. We got the pistol. Pistol in a holster on this side. You can see I clicked over the weapons. There it is. You can unholster, so it's just a holster. But who wants an empty holster? Put a pistol in it. And then if you want to go Indiana Jones, there are whips in the game. Throw you a whip on there. If the coat wasn't on, it would look really cool. So this side items thing, this is fun to play. If you set your character up and you're building one and you don't get a chance to throw a side item on, you're missing out because they're actually pretty proportionate. What they're proportionally sized well, and it works great. I'm hopping back over to the chat. Legend says, I think they make the weapons always oversized, not for printing reasons, but to stand out. Okay, well, I mean that is a good reason. Legends also comes back. Boomstick for the win. I agree. If that's the case, then I get that. Everything to make them stand out. I think the thing that threw me off is almost everything in this. To Eldritch credit, you can literally change everything. You can change the tilts of the hands. Like, well, let's go to that real quick. There's just so much stuff you can do. You can just pick a stance. Right now we got the walk. I like the 30 plus. He's got a gun in his hand, but it's basically supposed to be his back hurts. That one's a classic one. The kneel. Again, this one's really cool, but it's if your character's playing like a sneaky character, that would work really good. But nothing beats, I mean, the assassin stance is pretty sick. But that's your basic one, wide leg. The idol's pretty, this is your basic movie poster. I personally like the walking, this guy, because it looks like you're on the way to just wreck shop. But what I was saying is if you go to head, this we're just in head right now. This thing, like, let me zoom in. This thing will let you tilt your head in a different direction. We can put it over on the shoulder. Like, you can move this all the way over. We're going to put it back just in case you don't like the way the coat sits or your head feels slightly out of place. You can literally do anything. You can tilt the head any direction. Like, I want to tilt my head back a little bit. Like, what are you looking at? Like, I'm giving that. Like, what are you looking at? Who do you think you are? That's that. Who do you think you are? Look. Let's bring it back a little bit because I think if I wanted to tilt it this way, that's still pretty much right up. Let's go. No, I'm tilting it down. I want to tilt my head down a little bit and do the Kubrick stare. That's just moving my head down. And I think this was it, but it wants to tilt my head that way. So let's. Now I'm looking off to that side. It works too. Man, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the Kubrick stare. There we go. There we go. Can I get the eyes looking down? You're looking straight ahead, but it's probably a little too much. Just come back a little bit. Now I'm tilting again. Anyway, going back to, so now we're in items. Is there a resizable? Rescale? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is what I was looking for and I couldn't find it. To be honest, guys, I'm going to straight up transparency. No idea what I'm doing here. All right, so we are working on the side item. What is this doing? Can I just move it around using these things? Okay, so you can actually adjust it to where it's not inside. So let's take a look at our whip. See how the whip is inside the coat a little bit. I think, let's kick the bottom out. Can we kick the bottom out? Pull it out a little bit. Boom. Now we're pretty much on the outside. Now it's a giant whip. We're pretty much on the outside of the coat. So you can make cool adjustments like that. So basically that's what I was saying. But no resizing. I can't freaking resize it. Here's some cool. So they have additional things when it comes to, because we're still in poses. I'm just going to show you a few mounts. The Dune Maw, a wolf. Let's throw David on a wolf just to see what happens. And hope my computer does not crash. David on a dire wolf with the boomstick, ready to tear London apart. I'm about to solve some mysteries, y'all, on my direwolf. Winter's coming, and that winter's name is David. Of course, your classic horse. This worked great in Victorian era. I'm not gonna lie, if you're at my table and all my other players show up with just their minis, and your mini happens to just be riding a horse the entire time through dungeons and through banks in the streets of London into pubs on a horse, I'm gonna be like, come on, we gotta bring it back a notch. But the horse is still better than being like, well, my character rides a giant boar. So let's not do that. All right, let's take these off. Go back to no mounts. Can I get rid of the... Oh my god, you can put a helmet on the boar. Good lord. How do we get off the mount? How do we dismount? Can I dismount? I think we have to go back to stances. Let's go back to stance, do walk. All right, here we go. Anyway, these poses, you can adjust all of these to kind of give your character a good pose. But again, I like the walking pose. Now, the last thing I'll go over real quick are the bases. They have obviously the Roman road, which works pretty decent for Flintlock, but I'm going to show you my jam. Oh, no, not that one. I'm going to show you my daggum jam. They have basically, it's basically a cobblestone. No, I think it's this brick. Where are you at? Cogs and gears. If you really want to go the steampunk route, this is a cool one. Ice cracks. That's pretty cool too, because it kind of just works for anything. Standard, simple. Flagstone. Is this the one? This one is sick for Flintlock. This one works really good. And then there is the dungeon. This one basically looks like a cobblestone street. That one works really good. The dungeon cell has a grate, which works again. Well, there's some dead skeletons for my character. That makes sense because I just rolled through an alleyway. Brick Street. Here's the one that I use for everybody in the website. Brick Street is pretty much your classic. That looks like a street in London, a back alleyway. So that would be the one I would go with. Most likely go with the most. Perfect. All right, so that's that. So this is Dave. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I like the way this looks. You can change, you can do a nameplate, which I thought was cool. That'll drop that right on your mini. Base effects, they have all kinds of cool effects. Things shooting up, ice shards, just kind of give you an idea what that looks like. Pretty neat. And then you can change from round, square to hexagon on your base if you wanted, or you can add an item to your base. Like, look at this potted plant, in case you want that added to your base. But of course, that doesn't make much sense. But a skull does. Is there anything else that would work really good? I think I want to leave an item on my cobblestone road. A pot of gold. It's a pot of gold. No, it's not really what I want, though. A gravestone. Oh. Peaky Bulldog. It looks like a Victorian era. Peaky Blinders Bulldog. I don't know who. Okay, hold on. Let's pause. I just found this. And of course, there's just a friend. Babe, are you still on the TikToks? If you're still there, you're going to friggin' love this. Just straight up French Bulldog. Someone threw a newsy hat and a vest on. I mean, okay, so this would be my character now. I'm giving my character a daggum dog. Newsy. Oh my god, that's so cool. Okay. We got it. And it's called Peaky Bulldog. It works great. You can throw a fox in there. I was just looking for something fun. Erlenmeyer Flask would work good too. But not gonna lie, we are definitely keeping... Oh, they got bunnies. You can add a bunny. I haven't played around with any of this stuff. This is great. And then, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other categories over here. Anyway, we're keeping the dog. And we're going to keep it as is. Now, this is something I want to talk to them about. Is there an upload your own? There isn't an upload your own. What I might download image. You can copy a link. You can download this image. What I did for a lot of the stuff, because I was posting on social media, is I did the transparent background and saved it that way. Download the image and worked out well. You can throw a frame on them. That's cool. No, let's get rid of the frame. Can I get rid of you? Oh, great. The frame is stuck. I can't get rid of the frame now. If I unclick it over here. Either way, they got backgrounds for your characters. I have a background that I made from a lot of the logo stuff. Then I'll talk to Eldritch, see if they want to throw it up here, because it looks pretty sick. All the characters on the website, it shows a couple store run. It's basically London background. I think works really cool. I'll talk to them about that. See if they want to use it. But yep, you can go there, save your character. We are going to get rid of, can I get rid of the background? I guess once you select one, you're like in it to win it. Let's go with this guy then. And then we're just going to save this real quick. Save David, and he's saving into the categories. David has been successfully saved. So now I have him over there. Now we are going to do something that was basically, I went through everything so you can kind of see how it works. So you can go, they got a whole crime and mystery section where you can just pick, look at the sheriff. So if you don't want to spend time and you're just looking for something to hurry up and get to, that's basically what I set up on the website. So you can just, oh boy, it looks like it's freezing on me. Well, guys, it looks like it's freezing. I don't know how much I can do. No, okay, here we go. So you basically, if you didn't want to build, you just want a cool character. They have so many cool characters over here. Townsman. I just want to start off with something. Let's go to the body real quick. Let's build something fun real quick. We're going to start with the elf, because I think I want to make a Dracula. There's a half elf. Let's try a Dracula character. And I have so many stuff. They might actually have Demonborn, Goliath, Undead. I think the elf works best, the first one, for a Dracula figure. And we're just going to do this real quick so you can kind of see what it's like to make. Let's change the clothes. Let's get the handhelds out real quick. Let's get rid of those. Ranged pistols. Here's one of his left hand. Clear. What would that be? Or miscellaneous? Clear. So now he's got nothing in his hand. Let's go back to clothing. Now, since it's a vampire, we're definitely going to want a cloak. Let's start off with torso. Let's do long sleeve. I think we're going to go, there's so many good long sleeves too that work for Victorian. I know we didn't play around with it, but I wanted the puffy shirt. Not that. There we are. The poet shirt. Let's get rid of this hat real quick. Clear helmet. We got to do hair real fast. Let's go to head. Hair. Because that is not very Dracula. The elf looks right, but the hair is just not what I would go for as far as Dracula. Now, do we go long hair Dracula? I don't think so. I think we would, if we're going to do hair, we're going to have to do slick back. Let's do bowl cut. No. Or straight bald. I think I would just have to do bald. What would work best for Dracula? I'm going to go bald. I think straight up bald would be the best thing to do. Not balding. That's pretty funny, though. But just straight bald. So let's just clear it out. I think that works. But same for beard. I don't think we need maybe a goatee for Dracula. No. I don't know. What would we put on Dracula? Not mutton chops. I'm trying to... The mutton chops works, but I'm trying to avoid Nosferatu style. Yeah. That's what that other one looked like. The mutton chops kind of has that feel. The Nosferatu with this, that would really look kind of Nosferatu-ish. I think we're gonna stick with this mustache. I think that works good. And we could furrow the brow, but I don't think we need to. I think that looks very vampire-ish. All right, now back to clothing. We're gonna do this straight up build. Start with the torso. I think fluffy shirt, jacket. Hard to argue with this combo. Where'd it go? It just freaking disappeared on me. Right here. Put him in it, bro. Well, this looks similar, but no. For some reason, it is refusing to do the Commodore's cloak on my guy. I don't know why it's refusing to do it. That works fine. For some reason, it refuses. Let's go back to long sleeves. Why does it not want to put him in a puffy shirt? It's like it's telling me, no, we're not doing puffy shirts. Why won't you let me do puffy shirt? Why won't you let me do puffy shirt? All right, let's throw capes on him real quick. Because, I mean, it's friggin' vampire. We got to do the cape. Gots to do the cape. You know, Nosferatu style. This kind of fluffy cape would work well. Let's change this friggin' stance real quick. The stance is killing me. Stance is killing me. I want something like this, like he's calling out. That works. The cape is not working well. Let's get out of here with that. Clothing, back to the capes. That's not the cape I think works the best. Cloak of levitation. This guy, oh, but my head's on. This is a daggum vampire cape. Now, let's see if we can get something to friggin' work for a shirt. Long sleeve. Let's try this out. See if this will even do. That works great for a vampire right there. Now, his head is turned, so we would have to adjust the pose. We'd have to do some adjustments to the head. Where would we turn? Nope, that's tilt. How do I turn his head? Which way to look? No, that's moving it back. Wait, what is this button? Rotate. There we go. Oh, but stretches the collar. It does help, though. See, that's a little bit better right there. But even with it, it does want to stretch. Like the collar stuck to his side of his face. Oh, let's tilt it. Nope, I want to rotate this way. Right there. But I'm gonna be honest, the collar on the cape is pretty much a must. You kind of have to have that for a vampire. Nosferatu. Oh, I forgot I was moving that. Let's get out of this real quick so we can turn it. Ah, crap. I said it's tilted a little bit too much. Let's go. Like that. I think that works. I wish I could lower the cape a little bit, but I don't think I can. Oh, dang it. I forgot I was leaving it. Let's stop messing with this. All right, let's get out of this. I like that. We got to change his pants. His pants are driving me nuts. Pants. What are we going to go with for pants? Torn pants? Not very vampire-ish. His shoes, definitely. These loafers gots to go. Where we at with, let's give him some cool vampire pants. Now, this is very vampire-ish. If I was going to have a vampire, I would probably go, I might end up going with those because that's just straight up vampire. But these Tackham loafers with this outfit is so funny. What are those? These daggum loafers. We have got to do something about these shoes. Jesus. We have got to do something about these shoes. I'm sorry, guys. I've not been paying into the chat. You can take the cape off, then fix head, then add the cape back. I probably could, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it at this moment in time. I think just tilting his head, again, it throws it off a little bit, but oh crap. I'm still laughing about the shoes. I think with the higher shoulder of that, it actually doesn't look too bad for the vampire. What? Why aren't you doing this? Jeez Louise. Very Nosferatu-ish. I might have to mess with his hands because his hands are very vanilla. It looks like he's got real soft hands. Not the way I think of Van. He looks like he just uses moisturizer. We'll have to play with that a little bit. Let's go back to these daggum penny loafers. Footwear. Let's get rid of those guys. I'm going to have to say, we're not going to do sandals, although sandals would work. Well, I don't know. How do we feel about no? Because these pants, these daggum pants, is that what comes with this? Yeah. We're gonna have to do boots because of the pants. So let's go back to footwear. We got to go into boots, and we're gonna have to do something vampirish. Now these guys work pretty good. Look at that. That's very vampire, but it's not very I mean, vampires aren't really. They're Victorian, but you know what I'm saying. They've been around for a hot minute. Winter boots. No, I'm not feeling that. I feel like this would be kind of elven. Those would work for a vampire. What about these? Do we want to be even paying attention to the boots, or would you want them just to be up like this? I'm gonna be honest. I think I like that for as far as boots go, and it works with the pants and the cape. I think I like that. Let's play around with the daggum hands. We can give him some gloves to kind of solve this. We need to go back to the shoulders. He needs some kind of shoulder armament for a vampire. I mean, that's kind of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles feel, but that feels like that is a vampire. A Victorian era vampire. Maybe there is something throwing me off. Maybe it's his chest piece, but we're gonna stick with it for now. His daggum. Can I change his hands? Give him a tail. Can we give him friggin'? Yes, we can. Steampunk wings. That's not what I was looking for. Maybe that'll solve it. Angelic. Pixie. Oh, that stinks. I thought there were demonic wings. All right. Now, you can't get much less vampire than this. That is vampire. All right, we're leaving the wings. We're leaving the daggum wings. You imagine if all of this and I left the penny loafers. Daggum penny loafers. I like this. This is where we're going with right there. This looks like a daggum vampire. All right, now we need to do something about these moisturized hands. Lower body. Head, body. I'm going to be honest, it might just be gauntlets. Should we give them gauntlets? About these. Oh my gosh. What is that? Those are massive. I was just thinking of something simple. No, I don't think I want to do gauntlets. Let's go back to gloves. Back to gloves. Where are we at? Hands. There's got to be some kind of cool gloves that really say vampire. Yeah, these. I think these are our jam. Now, these are the short ones. They have them all the way up the gauntlet. Right and left. Can I do right and left? There's the right one and the left one. Yeah. Look at those. Now, I kind of wanted monster-looking hands, not have to put gloves on them. But I haven't played around with enough to see if I can change the way his hands look. Now, if we go back to maybe it's body. Oh, we were just there. And I didn't see any kind of change to hands. So we're going to have to stick with the gloves, guys, or it's going to be manicures. And I can't do that. Let's stick with the gloves. They work too. So this works pretty good for a vampire. Again, not super Victorian. I think the only thing that throws me off, let's go back to clothing real quick, because I friggin' wanted that. The daggum puffy shirt coat mix. I'm mad they wouldn't let me have it. Long coats, commandeer coat. It just makes him shirtless. It will not give it to me, and I don't know why. Is it because he's an elf? They won't let elves do this? And I'm telling you, I think it's the shirt itself. For some reason, the shirt does not want to mess with. I mean, that works too. This actually works better. I think that works better for a vampire. Man, did I want that daggum interview with the vampire puffy shirt. But we might have to just go with this. The poet shirt, for some reason, disagrees with your boy vampire. Just give him some suspenders. That would work too. I think. All right, guys. I think this is where I want to land. I even like the wood plank floor. Like he snuck in through your window uninvited. What do you guys think? Sound up in the chat. Have we got ourselves a vampire or what? Very Nosferatu. Very Nosferatu. And it's terrifying, which is what I want the vampires to be in the game. I want when you run into a vampire, it's friggin' terrifying. Like your character is about to die. It's probably going to die. Your character is probably about to die. The wings kind of do it for me. But everything else, let's change the background real quick. Let's give it a vampire background, which would be here. Yep. Let's spin him around. There's your vampire. All right, we're going to change the name before we save him. Nosferatu. Let's go and give this guy new save. Saving him up. And there we have it, everybody. We made a David and we made a vampire. I'm actually pretty stoked about this vampire. I think it looks pretty friggin' sick. I will put I'm going to put these guys up on the website. And what I'll most likely do is do a link to this video and put it under the minis part of the website as well. So you can always go back and be like, how did he do that? What was the thing he selected? And you can rewatch this video. Of course, you can always subscribe to the YouTube or wherever you're watching this on. And that's a great way to do it too. You can do that. Guys, I'm super happy. My computer, that bowl of ice I put under the fan that my laptop sits on top of has done swimmingly. We did not shut down whatsoever. And I was real worried about it. You can go to flintlockandfog.com. I'll put those up this week. And you can start off with Nosferatu. You can click him and it'll pop right up. And this is what your computer screen will look like. And then you can do, if you're like, dude, this vampire you made sucks. Then you can upload this, record yourself changing it to what you think is better, and then send that to me in a diss track. Like, you've got to learn how to use Eldritch. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Again, this will be up on the website. If you haven't subscribed to whatever you're watching this on, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And we're going to be doing a lot more fun stuff like this. I actually had a great time. Now that I know I can play around with Eldritch while live streaming and it doesn't crash, I might have to do this more often because this is a blast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Thanks for joining with me. Yay for fans and ice. Yeah, for real. Love the vampire, says Legends, and yay for fans and ice / Legends again. Thanks for everybody hanging out with me as we build minis. Again, I'll put those up on the website. That's the easiest way. If you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, go to flintlockandfog.com, go over to the little store section, hit that mini. It'll take you right down to pictures. Just slam that clicker right on a picture. It'll take you straight into Eldritch Foundry, already creating a character in that template. That character will already be there for you to modify and play with. Go make you some minis. And if you haven't yet, of course, as always, go to flintlockandfog.com, hit that Kickstarter, go over there and back the Kickstarter. And I think we're going to be working with Eldritch in the future for a long time. And so I'll be doing stuff, having fun with them and promoting them as I bring campaigns out as well. So that's always a good time. Thank you for everybody tuning in tonight. I will do this again because this was a blast. And I only made 2 characters. I made myself and I made Nosferatu. Hope everybody had a great time. And I will see you out there on those internet streets. Don't forget to go to the Kickstarter. All right.